Hi, it's Anna Mason. In this watercolour tip video, I wanted to show you how I created a vibrant autumn leaf. Its rich dark reds, browns and yellows sit alongside one another without muddying and mixing into each other. I worked from a reference photo and began with the drawing marking in the most prominent veins. Then my first stage of painting was to paint a pale version of the pinky red vein colour to the thickest veins so that I wouldn't accidentally paint over these. The key way to stop colours bleeding into one another is to make sure that each colour is dry on the paper before applying the next. So once this was dry, I painted in the yellow areas of the leaf, being careful not to paint over the veins I just painted and using this yellow to map out the yellow colour, thinner veins that I could see. Again, I let this dry and I then created an orangey red mix and applied it to all the gaps, as well as into the bigger yellow areas in a few places as a second layer. Here the colour overlaps and appears more orange as it visually mixes on the paper, though it stays vibrant and clear and doesn't muddy because that layer underneath is dry. With a layer of fairly pale paint down everywhere now, the different colour areas of the leaf are mapped out. Next I painted in the darkest parts of the leaves, the dark tips to the ends with thick brown paint. Having these darkest parts painted in helps me to judge how dark I can take the midtones, as I begin with the darker midtones, the rich dark brown reds in these parts of the leaf. I stippled with my brush to leave little gaps through to the layer underneath to create a bit of the texture that I could see to the leaf here, and again leaving gaps for the veins. I watered the mix down a little where the leaf was lighter, and then created a much more vibrant red mix to work into the brighter areas of the leaf in the bottom right and along some of the veins, again stippling to allow gaps through to the paler layer underneath. With these midtones painted, it was clear that the pale yellow layer underneath was too light, as the veins were standing out too much. So once this layer had dried, I used a bigger brush to apply a thicker, darker yellow mix as a glaze over the top of most parts of the leaf, only holding off from areas of the brown red colour that I didn't want to be made more orange by applying this mix. This had the effect of darkening the leaf but also making it feel much more solid. Once this was dry, I also darkened up the bigger veins a touch and then began a round of tonal adjustments where I again darkened the darkest tips to the leaves and the red parts of the leaves, stippling as before. Next, I used my tiny brushes to add in more line detail around the veins, and once that was dry, I darkened up some more with another round of tonal adjustments, making a further glaze to the yellows, which again really darkened and unified the leaf. Then I added more details again, neatening up some of the veins, and darkening up any other areas that still seemed to need it, before the leaf felt solid and unified yet still retained clear, vibrant areas of reds and yellows along with plenty of realistic detail. A full video class of this red leaf is available now in my online school and as a project in my latest book, Anna Mason's Watercolour World. If you've enjoyed this tip video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'd love it if you'd share this video with your friends. And if you'd like to take one of my tried and tested video classes for free, hop on over to annamasonart.com where you'll find even more resources to help you pick up your brush and paint the way you've always wanted to. But remember, you won't improve your painting unless you make the time to paint. So be sure to schedule in some me time this week and paint something that you love. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you soon with another tip for creating watercolours with wow. Oh God, hang on. I think I might burp.
Yes. Come on, get it up.